It's but me. All right, but me. And for what I can't tell you. It's just the principle. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to today, Tuesday, November the 19th, City Council agenda session. I now call us to order. We will now have a pledge of allegiance by yours truly. If you please stand and address the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I will now move the agenda. We have no special presentations tonight, so we will move on into your city council's order of business. Can I have a motion to approve them? Okay, it's been moved. Can I get a second? Second. It's been moved and properly seconded. All in favor by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Council. Now we'll move on to ordinances on final reading 5A.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38, zoning ordinance, so as to rezone part of property located at 4913 Adams Road, more particularly described herein from R5 residential zone to M2 light industrial zone.
Council? Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. Now, at this time, we will move on to ordinances on first reading. Madam Clerk, please read 6A, please.
An ordinance closing and abandoning a sewer easement located in the 5800 block of Highway 153 as detailed on the attached map subject to certain conditions.
We have Vice Chairman Henderson, followed by Councilman Smith.
Move approval.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. 6B, please.
An ordinance closing and abandoning a sewer easement located at 713 Hamilton Avenue as detailed on the attached map subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Mitchell, followed by Vice Chairman Henderson.
Move approval. Second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. 6C, please.
An ordinance closing and abandoning a sewer easement located in the 1200 block of East 13th Street as detailed on the attached map.
Councilman Byrd? It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. 6D, please, Madam Clerk.
An ordinance closing and abandoning a sewer easement located in the 2200 block of Fagan Street as detailed on the attached map subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Byrd? It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. Now we will move on to resolutions. Madam Clerk, please start with 7A, please.
A resolution to amend resolution number 29347 with the artist Ray Site Studio, Shane Albritton, and Norman Lee LLC for additional scope related to the artwork creation and installation services for the following five memorial project for an increased amount of $28,147 for revised contract amount not to exceed $778,147.
Vice Chairman Henderson.
Move approval.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. Now please read 7B, please.
A resolution approving a short-term vacation rental application number 19 STVR000112 for property located at 1601 East 13th Street.
Is there any opposition here? Is the applicant present? Councilman Byrd?
I haven't received anything on this one, so move to approve.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Motion carries. 7C, please.
A resolution approving a short-term vacation rental application number 19 STVR 00157 for property located at 2006 East 14th Street.
Is there any opposition here? Is the applicant present? Yes, sir. Okay. What's your pleasure?
Same, haven't received anything on this one, so move to approve.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. 7D, please.
A resolution authorizing the chief operating officer to enter into a contract with Tyler Tech, previously named Socrata, in order to provide open data visualization, and performance and analytics platform for the city of Chattanooga in the amount of $135,000, with an option to renew for one additional one-year period, with annual amounts up to $135,000 each.
Councilwoman Burrs.
Move approval.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. 7E, please.
A resolution authorizing the chief information officer to renew the city's existing blanket contract with AST Corporation for 18 months, beginning November 28, 2019, and ending April 1, 2021, with an annual spend limit not to exceed $600,000 per 12-month period.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. 7F, please.
A resolution setting a hearing on the ordinance relating to the charter amendment for the Police Advisor and Review Committee for no later than July 7, 2020.
Councilman Gilbert.
Move to approve.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Item letter G.
A resolution authorizing the award of contract number S17028-201 to Thomas Brothers Construction Company, Inc. of Hickson, Tennessee, Mountain Creek Stream Restoration in the amount of $697,212.58, plus the contingency amount of $34,860 for a total amount of $732,072.58.
We have Vice Chairman Henderson, followed by Councilman Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move approval for this item.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Item H, please.
A resolution authorizing the street renaming the unopened, unnumbered block of Grove Street to the 1400 block of Stone Knot Way.
Councilman Mitchell.
Move approval.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Item I.
A resolution authorizing approval of change order number 1 with Trade B Environmental Services relative to contract number E16006-202, the former Lupton City Mill as asbestos abatement project, for an increased amount of $63,296 for a revised contract amount of $308,396, plus a contingency amount of $25,000 for a revised amount not to exceed $333,396.
We have Councilman Mitchell, followed by Vice Chairman Henderson.
Move approval.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Item J.
A resolution authorizing approval of change order number 1 final for JDH Company, Inc. of Chattanooga, Tennessee, relative to contract number Y19002-201, replacement roofing system for Hickson YFD Center for an increased amount of $3,755 to release the remaining contingency amount of $20,245 for a revised contract amount of $248,268.
We have Councilman Smith, followed by Councilman Ledford. Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. Item K.
A resolution authorizing a street name change on UTC campus between East 4th Street and Palmetto Street from the 400 through 499 block of Maple Street to the 400 through 499 block of Mox Alumni Drive, and renaming the 600 through 899 blocks of East 5th Street to the 600 through 899 blocks of Mox Alumni Drive.
We have Councilman Byrd, followed by Councilman Ledford.
Move to approve.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. Yes. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Chairman. I just
Yeah.
wanted to relay a sincere appreciation from the UTC Alumni Board President, Mr. Richard Johnson. His words, he could not be here tonight, but his words were to me to please convey their sincere appreciation and excitement to the entire council at having a major thoroughfare running through the university now called Mox Alumni Drive, and accurately reflecting the legacy and honor of all University of Chattanooga and University of Tennessee at Chattanooga alumni. Go Mox.
Okay. I am so happy that happened and you got to speak. Yeah, you did. Like you say, you got to be quick up in this camp. Yeah, you did. You just verbally. With that being said, let's move on to item L.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to execute the consent to assignment of all purchase orders for vendor number 37630 ATWH Architects, Inc. to MBI Companies, Inc. relative to purchase order number 552219 for on-call architectural services, contract number E18007-101.
Council, what is your pleasure on this item? It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. Item M.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to renew contract number E18009-101, on-call blanket contracts for mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and engineering services for year 2 of 4 with 1, Campbell and Associates, Inc., and 2, March Adams and Associates, Inc., for year 2 of a 4-year term, with these 2 professional firms estimated $200,000 total annually for use by all departments.
Council, what is your pleasure? It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. Item N.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to renew contract number E18007-101, on-call blanket contracts for architectural services for year 2 of 4 with 1, Allen and Hoschel, Inc., 2, Architect Design Group, Inc., 3, Dirt Thick, Henley and Wilkerson Architects, PLLC, 4, Franklin Architects, 5, Raritan and Carroll Architects, Inc., and 6, MBI Company, Inc., formerly TWH Architects, Inc., for year 2 of a 4-year term, with these 6 professional firms estimated at $1,250,000 total annually for use by all departments.
Councilman Gilbert.
Move to approve.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposed is nay. Motion carries. Item O.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to renew on-call blanket contract for structural engineering services, contract number E18008-101 for year 2 of 4 with 1, Allen and Hoschel, Inc., 2, Alfred Benish and Company, 3, CTI Engineers, Inc., 4, Estes Russell Engineering, Inc., 5, Integrated Structural Services, Inc., 6, March Adams and Associates, Inc., and 7, Volker, Inc., for year 2 of a 4-year term, with these 7 professional firms estimated at $200,000 total annually for use by all departments.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Item P.
A resolution authorizing the Department of Public Works to enter into a public-private partnership agreement with Waterways, formerly Caribbean Sea Inc., Caribbean Student Environmental Alliance, for continued development of the My Tennessee and adopt a waterway programs over a 2-year term for the water quality program for an amount not to exceed $60,000.
Vice Chairman Henderson.
Move approval.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. That ends this portion of our order of business. We will now move on to purchases.
Good evening, members of council. We want to start first with one emergency council purchase, and that is from the Fleet Division of Public Works, and we have our administrator from Public Works here to sign. It's for the purchase of one Detroit engine for fire truck number F074, and the total amount or total cost of $42,328. Thank you.
Vice Chairman, Jerry Mitchell. Councilman Jerry Mitchell. Mr. Councilman Jerry Mitchell, my buddy.
Justin, what makes this an emergency purchase?
So this was a fire apparatus. It's a frontline engine that the engine blew up on. So the fire chief and I discussed, we were unable to purchase a new engine. We do not have an engine currently on contract, and the lead time on purchase for an engine that would fit to bid that out is a significant amount of time, and the fire chief indicated that this was a frontline engine that needed to be back in service. It's an essential piece that is stationed at Volkswagen. I understand it's an aerial truck that has capabilities that other parts of the fleet do not have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilman. Okay.
We have several other purchasing items for your consideration this evening, starting with two items from our Department of Information Technology. First being a blanket contract renewal with Esri Small Enterprise Agreement being awarded to Esri for a total estimated annual amount of $100,000. Next, we have a blanket contract renewal for data management for Time Clock Plus products being awarded to Data Management Incorporated for a total estimated annual amount of $135,000. From our fire department, we have a new blanket contract for ballistic body armor being awarded to Galls LLC at an estimated total annual amount of $111,600. From the Waste Resource Division of Public Works, we have an increase of authorized expenditure to liquid oxygen, being awarded to Matheson Trigas and Airgas, an increased amount of $65,000, bringing the total estimated annual amount to $165,000. From the Citywide Services Division of Public Works, a blanket contract extension for refuse and recyclable transport being awarded to Tennessee Waste Haulers LLC for a total estimated annual amount of $450,000. Next, also from Citywide Service Division of Public Works, a new blanket contract for Wilcox Tunnel biannual cleaning being awarded to ARB Enterprises Incorporated for a total estimated annual amount of $30,000. From the Fleet Management Division of Public Works, a new blanket contract for truck, trailer accessories, and trailer maintenance being awarded to Truck and Trailers USA for an estimated total annual amount of $50,000. Also from Fleet Management Division, a new blanket contract for various more OEM parts and service being awarded to CMI Equipment Sales Incorporated for an estimated total annual amount of $150,000. From the Waste Resource Division of Public Works, a blanket contract renewal for air compressor maintenance and repair being awarded to Blake and Pendleton Incorporated at a total estimated annual amount of $250,000. Also from the Waste Resource Division, a blanket contract renewal for CCTV parts and repair services being awarded to Q's Incorporated for a total estimated annual amount of $40,000. Also, a blanket contract renewal for sewer video and sonar services being awarded to Amtech Surveying Incorporated for a total estimated amount of $600,000. And that concludes the listing.
Thank you, Mr. Simmons. Councilman Burris.
Thank you. Tony, let's go up to the first two IT purchases. If I'm understanding this correctly, Council, I know I keep bringing this up, but I want to make sure I've got it clear. Council asked for a plan, an IT plan, and IT's plan was to put out for bids for somebody to give us an IT plan. Where does that stand?
What we provided for council was a listing, a timetable of all the steps that are being taken to assist us in putting out an RFP to ensure that we have the right product that's going to assist us in all the needs that we have for the various departments. And so at that point, that's right where we are now, is working with the organization that's helping us, and we're on target with that at this time.
So we have someone, or we don't have someone to come up with the plan, because we haven't approved anything for that, right?
No, we have nothing that we've brought before council for approval yet. We are working on all our details for that to put the RFP together.
Oh, okay, so we don't have the RFP. Okay, so here's where I have a problem. We keep approving IT stuff, which is necessary. I get it. But there's $100,000 here, $135,000 there, and we keep doing that. Are we going to be encumbered by contracts that go way beyond the plan, so that it sort of becomes a never-ending process?
Well, these two items, right now, we are still in the process of trying to get that ready to go out to bid. We don't want to disrupt any of the services that we have currently. So the Time Clock Plus service is a single service contract that we have, and it's time for us to renew that again. We don't want to, again, disrupt anything until we get that product out, identify who will be the awarded organization to provide us the services that we'll need.
And do we have a timeline for that?
Yes, and I'll be glad to resubmit that to you again.
Well, I think we may be a little behind. From the time, when will we be ready to say, okay, this is what we need and this is how we're going to do it? A year, 2 years? That's what I'm trying to get my arms around.
Well, it's our hope that we can develop that, and I don't have that in front of me right
Sure.
now, so I don't want to speak out of turn as to an exact time period. But we're trying to work on that as quickly as possible, pulling all of our departments together to identify exactly all the needs that we have to put this together
So
and get
you
it on
don't,
the streets
it's
as
not
quickly
your
as possible.
feeling that we'll be mired in a bunch of contracts that we're letting that go way beyond when the plan comes forward?
At this time, we don't think so.
Okay. Will there be anything ready for budget time?
That's it's our intent to have everything ready by the time we're ready to have budget approved.
To have budget approved. So these things, this is $100,000 annually. This is a single source and the next one is a single source. So these are variables that will automatically be part of our plan because it's single source, or at some point we may be just getting rid of these folks because the plan doesn't contemplate them.
Well, the plan, excuse me, our plan will have listed all the services that we are in need of. There are still services and products that we have that are singled out that is not looked at as a part of the overall plan yet. We're trying to identify, if we can identify the right company that would be able to provide all of that, then we will not look at trying to renew any of the singled out or sole source products.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you good, Councilwoman? Yeah. All right, great. Councilman Gilbert.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
This might not, you might not answer this, Tony, but on R191919 concerning the tunnel and cleaning it, I know in the past, whoever that group was, I don't know if this group or someone else, we spent a lot of money on that tunnel to keep it, the lining in it, and also try to make sure it's clean. And my opinion, we're not using properly because it's tearing it up. Something in there is ripping the lining in Wilcox Tunnel, and every time it cleans, it gets worse. And we spend too much money to get it just torn apart. So I'm asking, whoever this company may be, are they using a hard brush, soft bristle brush? What are they using to actually clean this tunnel?
I'll defer to our Public Works Department Administrator.
Thank you, Councilman Gilbert. So the type of equipment that we use is a specialized tunnel cleaning equipment. We have evaluated that cleaning equipment against the warranty that is, it's actually, the warranty and the inspections are administered by CDOT, so I don't have the details on all of the warranty information, but we are using a specialized equipment that the state uses, and it's pretty common to clean tunnels. It's a bristle brush type of contraption. I could share photos with you. A little bit difficult to explain. I've called it a thingamajig. It looks very very interesting. So it runs along the tunnel and cleans the tunnel liner now. We have indicated, and during the inspection, just from my knowledge of CDOT and working with them, it does appear that there have been some trucks that have hit the tunnel. We don't believe that the cleaning equipment has caused that. We do a pre and post cleaning inspection.
Well, the reason I'm saying it because some of the tearing off on the tunnels are very top, and I doubt very seriously the truck can get that far up in that tunnel unless it gets stuck at the other end. But this is kind of in the middle. And you said bristle, and I know it cleans the tunnel on the one on Brainerd Road, going through the tunnels on Macaulay, going through to Brainerd. But it's tile. And the brush they're using there could clean that one without harming it. But this material might be a little bit different. Have we gotten with the company and say, well, what type of brush we should be using to actually make sure that it's not tearing? Because again, it's on the very top in the middle, and again, I can't see a truck hitting that.
Yes, we have gotten with the company, and they say it's an approved method of cleaning of that liner.
That brush that we're using?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And that pre and post inspection of, before and after we clean the tunnel doesn't indicate that our equipment is damaging the tunnel.
Okay. Well, can you inspect at this common time when you get ready to clean it and see what it's looked like before? And then after they do it through with it, see how it looks afterwards?
CDOT has detailed information on the pre and post inspections, and I think Blythe and his group would be happy to share that information with you.
Okay. I'll get him. I think he's out of town now, so I'll get with him.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Hey, you good, Councilman?
I'm all right.
Okay. Okay, seeing no other questions, what is your pleasure, Council? Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded. Any other questions? All in favor by the sign of aye. Opposers, nay. Motion carries. Purchase is approved.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll move on to other business. Is there any other business this council would like to share? Okay, we have Councilwoman Burrs.
Mr. Chair, I had the privilege this morning to spend most of the morning with the U.S. Assistant Commissioner of Education, and we spent the morning at the Future Ready Institutes at Tyner High School, one of my favorite schools. And I think the thing that was so terrific is that this is a magnet school where kids from all over the city can come, in this case for technology, for healthcare, for education, and the quality of kids that and the sacrifices they make to come to this school was really impressive. I'm very proud of what's going on in public education. I'm a product of public education, and I think it's so important that even though the city is not in the school business, these are all our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to do anything we can to support them and to get them ready for the future. So I just want to give kudos to Tyner High School, to EPB, to HCA, to the other partnerships, public and private, that are helping these kids with options they probably wouldn't have otherwise. It was very impressive. And as the commissioner said this morning, he said to the kids, he said, "Do you know what it means when your ears are burning?" And they didn't. And he said, "Well, it's an old-time statement. It means somebody's gossiping about you." And he said, "I'm going to go back to Washington and really gossip about you because you're doing a wonderful job." And truly, they are. So thanks to the school system, thanks to the industries here, and thanks to the wonderful people at Tyner. Just wanted everyone to know that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing it with you, and I agree with you totally. Educating our kid is not just one entity, a county, or anything like that. It's all our responsibility to be a part of that. So thank you for sharing that about the great program that's happening out there at Tyner, but you know, and what's happening with our children here in Chattanooga and Hamilton County. We have Councilman Gilbert.
Thank you, Chair. I agree, Councilwoman Byrd. It's a fantastic school. Go Rams.
Is that where you went?
Yes, sir.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's a nice, brilliant school.
I talked about him too.
I don't know about that now.
Okay.
This coming Friday, November 22nd, from 9 to 12, the City of Chattanooga Purchasing Division and Office of Multicultural Affairs are hosting an event to recruit and educate business owners on how to work with the city. It's going to be located at Brainerd Recreation Center. That is 110 Northmore Road. You know, a lot of times when we have programs like this, they always have it downtown. Here's an opportunity for people in other areas to start coming and see how they can do business with the city. You can't complain if you don't show up. So you need to show up to this at Brainerd this coming Friday from 9 to 12. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Byrd.
Thank you, Chair. Today, we had the honor of feeding some seniors in the Avondale community. Unfortunately, this is the last meal that they will have in the old rec center, because we are doing the grand opening for the new rec center this Saturday. So thank you so much to this council for your support and everyone here. I look forward to seeing you this Saturday from 1 o'clock to 5. Come hang out for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or the whole time if you can. It will be the grand opening of the new Avondale Center, and there will be a lot of information from YFD, Coach Jennings, and the staff that he has. So many things on Tubman and the Nippon Paint Company that's coming, and different types of health screenings and things of that nature. So please come out and enjoy this joyous occasion. It's East Chattanooga Rising at its finest. So thank you. Hope to see you there.
Thank you, Councilman Burton, for your leadership and the great work you've done in getting that center to its completion where it is now. We also this week have had actually, we're having the honor of having the Tennessee Recreation and Parks Association having their conference here. Coach, would you just give us a little snippet of what that's about? Because I attended the reception last night, and Tony Sammons and I had the honor of being at the opening sessions today, which was great. So this is all the feedback I've been getting is everybody's real impressed with where we are to this point with our YFD and with our city. So could you just give us a little snippet?
Yes.
Snippet.
Mr. Chairman, yes. Yeah. And members of the council, it's an honor for us to host this Tennessee Parks and Recreation Conference for the state of Tennessee. And people from all over the state is here in our fair city experiencing what we are doing through our YFD department and learning. We're learning from them, they're learning from us, and we're sharing with each other, and they're all over the city, and they're even be taking a tour in the morning of the new Avondale Center to see that particular site as well. So a lot of educational experiences is happening. We're sharing, as I said, and a lot of breakout sessions for the conference, and they're very impressed with what we're doing. We're impressed with what they're doing, and the city of Chattanooga has hosted them very well, so we're excited about that.
Thank you. Share with us how many people are actually here for that conference.
It's 600 plus from around the state.
Okay.
Yeah. And plus our staff is working hard in every way, moving them around the city. Our vans and everything is transporting people all over so they can get a real experience of what Chattanooga is all about.
Well, I want to give kudos to the YFD department and staff. Greta Hayes, I believe she's the host, and Jason McKinney. And, you know, everything I've seen to this point with this conference and moving on up to Thursday has been nothing but a great experience, and it has shined a great light on the great things that's happening here in our city through its YFD.
Yes, doing our regular work, hosting the conference, getting ready for the grand opening. It's been a busy but exciting week for YFD, and we're very blessed.
Well, I can tell you now, my colleagues and I are very impressed and very proud and happy we have such a great group working in our YFDs.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Thank you, Coach. If there's no other business, I will remind everybody that next Tuesday we will not be here because of the Thanksgiving holidays. We're going to give everybody an opportunity to go home and be with their family or wherever you go to have a great time. And then I also know a number of us we do a lot of community service during that week. So this is an opportunity where a lot of us will not necessarily be resting, but we'll be getting actively involved in our community. I know in particularly feeding those who need assistance, loving those who has nobody to love, and just showing what a great heart we have in our city and what a great heart this council have in serving the citizens of this city. Councilman Gilbert.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I forgot to mention this when Parks and Recs came up here. This past week, we had our very own that has grown up in the centers most of her life. And this young lady is so talented. She has went national, went hit, pitch, or run. She has won so many awards. She is just signed, I guess, hopefully a 4-year scholarship to go to Mississippi State. That's Greta Hayes' daughter, and she is fantastic. You have to see her play. And I think we should recognize that the center culture of this young lady to where she's at. And I think that that's a wonderful thing. I hope that we'll see more of it, because I know her sister's right behind her. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And in conclusion, we may be off next week, but mark your schedule. We'll be back in business December the 3rd. So our next council meeting will be December the 3rd, so please mark your calendars for that. And we look forward to seeing you at that time. If there is no other business, we will now move on to committee reports. So Councilwoman Burrs. Thank you. Councilman Byrd.
Thank you, Chair. We had a great presentation from ECD concerning the TIF district and the properties and things that they are, the boundaries that they're looking to present to this body, and was a great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Gilbert.
No report.
Vice Chairman Henderson.
No report.
Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No report for today, but when we return on December 3rd, Planning and Zoning will meet following our agenda session.
Thank you, Councilman Ledford. Councilman Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
We, at this time, anyway, according to our strategic planning, have no Public Works and Transportation meetings planned, even though we'll be off next week, and we had one last week, so maybe we should call one for the 3rd of December.
Okay.
And I guess that's what I'll do.
Okay,
Public Works and
so
Transportation.
noted. We will be having a Public Works and Transportation Committee meeting at 3 o'clock on December the 3rd.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Councilman Smith. Thank you. Okay, now at this time, we will have recognitions of person wishing to address the council on non-agenda items. Would
Yes.
you please? I thought it was December the 3rd.
December.
Yeah.
The rules of operation that have been in effect since April the 2nd of 2019 are still in effect this week, but there will be new rules of procedure that are in effect on December the 3rd, so the next meeting of the council after Thanksgiving that will occur. Currently, at the end of each business meeting, the chair can recognize members of the public who wish to address the council, and here's your rules. You can only come up and be addressing the council at the microphone up front. You can't have more than 3 minutes to speak. Address the council on matters within their legislative or quasi-judicial authority, and you can't use the floor to use any vulgar, obscene language or personally attack or personally denigrate others. Please address your comments to the council as a whole, not to any individual member. And still, for this meeting, the chair can't recognize any person, neighborhood association, or organization to speak more than twice in any 30-day time period. And at this point in time, there is no one on the list, so you're welcome to go talk.
Okay. You have the floor, sir.
Good evening, City Council. I'm Dennis
Good
Clark,
evening.
in place of business at 701 Cherry Street, Suite 201. I'm here to talk to you about a new initiative that we are launching in partnership with the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. I'm accompanied by Dr. Chris Acuff, who's a professor of public science, political science, and public service, who's partnering with this initiative. It is called the Chattanooga Urban Policy Institute, and I am privileged to be leading up our efforts to reduce violence and increase opportunities for African Americans in some of our most vulnerable and urban communities. Councilman Anthony Byrd is the chairman of our board. Other board members include Tiffany Robinson, Assistant Chief, Glenn Scruggs, Valerie Radu of the Family Justice Center, and Belinda Smith at Chattanooga State Technical Community College. I wanted to, apparently I can't count, so I didn't bring enough flyers, but we have some color flyers and some black and white flyers. And this initiative is near and dear to my heart. About 3 years ago, I lost one of my youngest brothers to gang violence right here in Chattanooga, near our home in East Chattanooga. And we have been looking for ways, we have been researching ways on how we can reduce violence, just not by using heightened enforcement or just getting mass shootings down, but getting to the root cause of why people engage in violent and risky behaviors. We're using a trauma-informed care technique and researching and using data and treatment methods and using social service tools to help people get back on their feet, to help them make healthy decisions, and mostly important to address any mental illness issues that may contribute to why people engage in violent and risky behaviors. This is a new approach. This is a new effort. The university is our research partner. We believe that the city is really good at doing our homework, but not our research. We're really good at doing, bringing best practices, but not best fits for things that work for our community. So I just want to pass out these flyers. Our first event is actually going to be held right here in Chambers. It's called the Chattanooga Urban Policy Pitch Night. We have a panel of judges that include Dr. Eleanor Woods, Abby Garrison, David Steele of UTC, and Dr. Leandra Ware at Howard School. They'll be right here in Chambers on December 9th. I'd love to invite all of you to come and hear these political science students who have been researching this problem and these solutions and how we plan to implement them. Again, thank you to Councilman Anthony Byrd, who's actually going to be hosting that night. Thank you to the mayor's office, who's been participating and sharing some data with the university as we move forward for bold solutions and better outcomes for our community. God, I can't believe I did that in 3 minutes. I thought it was 5. Did it like shrink down to 3? You can't count anymore. Oh, I can't count anymore. But anyway, if there are any more questions, I'm just going to circulate these. You'll be receiving some emails, and hopefully you can come and respond to the RSVP. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that.
Good evening, Marie Mott Oak Grove. I'm standing here with 3 concerns that I have, 2 within the power of the council and 1 which is a moral issue. The first being that utilizing 4th floor services at the Chattanooga Library, I have noticed that persons who utilize wheelchairs struggle to get in the building. And I'll wait till my councilman is done passing. That on the first floor restrooms, there is no handicap accessibility whatsoever. It is a narrow entrance for you to get into the female restroom. Of course, I don't know what it's like for the male counterparts, but it would be extremely impossible for anybody with a wheelchair to get in. There is no extended large restroom at the end with handicap accessibility. The light is god-awful, and the toilets are extremely low, so that is not friendly for anybody with a disability. And I do believe that that would be under the American Disabilities Act for accessibility for taxpayers. The second issue is I have discovered in conversations with the Chattanooga Fire Department that we are losing African-American, female, and Hispanic firefighters to competing counties as well as states. Part of it is because of pay. And this is a beautiful opportunity because we're getting ready to talk about our budget. And so one of the things that they're struggling with is not only pay, but also recruitment. There, as I do believe, there was positions created within the Chattanooga Police Department for recruitment specialists. I would ask that the council would consider the same to have recruitment specialists within the Chattanooga Fire Department so we can get into the inner city and expose children to fire, EMT services very early on. YFD, linking with the YFD centers would be a great way to do that. But I want to advocate for gentlemen and women whose sole purpose is to go out in the community, build relationships with people, and encourage them to get hired on with the city. The third thing is not within your power, but it's within your moral scope. And that is, we are organizing in the community with the Hamilton County Bail Fund to call for the end of cash bail. It puts a financial burden on especially underprivileged and low-income communities. The majority of individuals, over 60% of the people, and if I do go over my time, please just give me one more minute. Over 60% of the individuals who are incarcerated right now have not had their fair day in court. That is unconstitutional, that is unethical, and that is immoral. We have to restore the presumption of innocence. That is the framework of this constitutional republic. We don't live in a democracy, that is a mob rule. We live in a constitutional republic, which means that we have a Judeo-Christian moral framework that is the basis of our country. And so I'm asking that you stand with the community, with your platforms and with the power that you do have, just to call for an end to cash bail, not for people who commit violent offenses, but for those who have committed non-violent offenses, who just need an opportunity to not lose their job, not lose their home, and to be there for their families and to have their fair day in court. Thank you so much for your time. I love you guys. Nothing you can do about it.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm the past chairman of the North Brandon Community Council. Of course, our new chairman was supposed to come down and make this presentation. Mrs. Igo, who is our special projects chairman for North Brandon Community Council, is here with me, and I want to recognize two of our councilmen here this evening, and that is being Mr. Darren Ledford, who had helped us out during the National Night Out. This is an event that we have annually in Chattanooga, and of course, this is a pet peeve of the North Brandon Community Council to have this event, which is a relationship between the police officers and the community. So we want to recognize Mr. Ledford for his efforts in helping us in the National Night Out. Also, a second young man we want to recognize is my councilman, Russell Gilbert, and his people had recognized and had helped us with National Night Out. We appreciate all that y'all have done. You've done this 5 years in a row. We really appreciate you and look forward to working with you some more, whatever we can do, and thank all of you, all 9 of you there. Thank you so much, okay?
Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Steve West, live at 5280 Rotary Drive, Chattanooga, Tennessee. First of all, thank you, Ms. Burris, for showing up at Tyner. We really appreciate that, and thank you, Mr. Gilbert, for all the things that you have done for Tyner. And Mr. Oglesby and the city attorney. We just want to tell y'all that, you know, don't just, I come up here for Tyner, but I do help Howard, Brainerd, whatever school I can help as I'm trying to raise funds. These schools, all these schools, not just those ones I just named, Hickson, all of them, they need help because, you know, the school system don't help the inner city schools at all. When they have to pay for buses to travel wherever they have to go and play and things like that. So I'm asking if all y'all go into y'all schools in y'all districts, just go into you all schools. You ain't got to go in nobody else's district. Just take a day off or whatever y'all can do. Just go into schools, just talk to the students. Y'all see, we have a lot of intelligent men and women in the city of Chattanooga. But the thing about it, when they get out of school and they go off to college, they don't want to come back because they don't recognize the things that they can accomplish in this city. You know, so I'm asking y'all as council people, city attorney, all y'all send some people into the schools because they would love to hear from you all because they can't get down here to council meetings and things like that. You know, y'all, they come down when y'all have a presentation for them. Because then, so they got to find rides to get here. So why don't y'all try to reach out to them? You'll be surprised of what kind of difference that y'all can make in their lives. Because my son, you know, and I can speak for my son, I can't speak for nobody. That gentleman up there, he loves Councilman Gilbert. If the Councilman Gilbert calls and say, hey, me and my son, me and my grandkids doing something, you wanna go? Hey, he'll be there. So I'm just saying, you know, if y'all can just pick out a kid and cuddle that child. And I know you do a lot, Mr. Henderson, and I appreciate all the things that you do for all the kids in your district. But you know, y'all need to go out and see what's going on in y'all schools. These are y'all schools, not mine. They're y'all's. Even though we're not in the school business anymore, but y'all can still go out and reach out to them. And Coach, I want to tell you thank you too, all the things that you did for the schools system. Because, you know, his staff is really wonderful. Because really, I'm like a lot of people say, the centers now are more or less culturing kids and teaching kids a lot that they need to know. I'm over my minute, so thank you all.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is there anybody else that would like to address the council? You have the mic.
Yes. Vanessa Jasmine, Bagwell Avenue. I am a U.S. citizen, and every American citizen has been freely granted individual sovereignty. However, our sovereignty as a nation and individually is threatened daily. Nonetheless, I have chosen to retain my sovereignty that was so graciously granted to us in our Constitution. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to address the council this evening? If not, you got it. Come on, bro.
I'll get myself together here. My name is Art Williams, and I'm here to address an issue that has already been addressed to legal authorities in Washington, D.C., in Maryland. I am here to solve and fix a problem with law enforcement here and around the world. We have two documents. We have a document of 1776 and one of 1787, Republic. And the Republic is founded on hereditary. And that hereditary is based on a king and the sovereignty of the people. Our government is in a crisis, from the president to the governor to the mayor and to the city council. And I'm here to deal with all citizens around the world to bring an end to this solution, because I have the solution for all of mankind. The president's crisis is our crisis. The president's investigation is my investigation. We need to bring an end to this situation, and this is the solution. The solution is based on two laws: the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. I come to the American world under the spirit of the law. And it is only the spirit of the law that will bring resolution in our law enforcement here in Chattanooga and around the world versus the letter of the law. One last thing. I will get with the citizens around the world, and you will see a change in our government. One last thing in closing. The greatest man that ever walked the earth, assalamu alaikum, his name was Jesus Christ. And our election system in America, based on the district and the electoral college, it was founded off of Passover. Passover that was instituted by Jesus Christ is the foundation of our election system. And under the amendment of 1843 and 1844, it's the amendment statute. If I can go on for just 30 seconds, is that okay, City Council?
Got 30 seconds.
Okay. According to the Passover, under the amendment of 1843, the amendment statute of 1843 and 1844. This is the resolution that will be given to the citizen that will bring an end to violence. And I have information that I want to give to the city council that our sovereignty has been transferred to a foreign government. And I'm asking you all to work with my situation under the spirit of the law to bring an end to violence in your state of Tennessee, because
Thank you
the
very
job
much.
is going to get done.
Very well said. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, my friend.
Is there anybody else that would like to address the council this evening? We are adjourned. See you on December the 3rd, and have a happy and safe Thanksgiving.